Good morning, thriving warriors and those who wish they were. Alexa, good morning.
Today is Thursday, August 25th. It's 6:12 a.m. Right now in Pahrump, it's 76 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly clear skies. Today's forecast has mostly sun weather with a high of 100 degrees and a low of 75 degrees.
Aha, thank you. Okay, so here we are another day, the last Thursday in August 2022. Good morning, Justin. Okay, big day. Yesterday was a good day. A donation of a couple water heaters for up at the Oasis. I've entered a new relationship with Nevada Outreach Training Organization, which is good. They've taken their first room here. We could have one or two additional people coming here. In fact, another veteran will be here. Another Marine will be here starting tomorrow. So we got that going for us, which kind of goes to show that if you just keep going forward, pushing forward, it will work out. All right, today's topic, job, real job versus job. So in today's video, which has the link down below in the notes, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell. It talks about your real job. Oh, yeah. So who are we? What are we doing here? Yes. So, Justin, what are we doing here? This is career services, where our goal is to help you move from where you are to someplace better, from point A to point B, where B is better. We do that through these little short 10-minute-ish type, sort of, not really, but we try. About 10 minutes every day, little breadcrumbs, as Professor Nancy Kane calls them, of things that you can easily follow to help you get to point B. And then in the notes, we usually have a video plus a TED Talk that goes along with our neuroscience approach to success, and of course the Seth Godin instructions. So there's a lot packed into this little 10-minute thing that you can stretch out into a few hours. So that's cool. Simon Sinek would say, good system. And yes, Justin, moving from point A to point B, where point B is better. So that's what we do. Yesterday, the TED Talk that was assigned TED-ish type talk. It kind of sounds interesting, TED-ish type talk. That's kind of like tit for tat. One of my favorite expressions, tit for tat, not tits for tat, tit for tat. Okay, was Mark Dawes, the reticular activating system that's in your brain, our brains. At the top of our brainstem, bundle of neurons about the size of our little finger right here, that all of our senses that enter our brain go through, and it helps filter out that which is important from that which is not. And the beliefs that we have are associated with the RAS, such that things that are important get through the RAS and they could get your attention. For example, your name is something important to you. If you hear your name called, no matter what you're doing, it will grab your attention because it's important. Or as Tony Robbins says, when you get a new car, all of a sudden you see that car everywhere. If you're a woman, you get a new dress, all of a sudden you see other women wearing the same dress that you didn't notice before. Now it's because you're reticular, it's important to you. And as Mark Dawes articulates it, your RAS is constantly scanning all information available to you in order to support your beliefs. So whatever you believe, your RAS is going to let come through. So that means if you have negative beliefs, I suck, I'm a failure, What's going to get through is all of the times that you suck and you're a failure. Or as we would say to people when we were doing typing, people who were in typing class, if you make a mistake and you say negative things, you're going to have negative beliefs. And so I can't type, for example, God, this sucks, I can't type. If you say that, every time you make a mistake, your brain, your little voice in your head is going to say, see, you can't type, this does suck. Wouldn't you rather be doing something else? And Carol from Stanford Growth Mindset says, add 2 words or add the word yet. I can't type yet, for example. So when you say, I can't type yet, the little voice in your head is going to say, congratulations, you typed 1 extra character before you made a mistake. Yeah, you are getting better. Okay, so we're 6 minutes into it already, and we haven't gotten to the main thesis, the main point of today's talk, which is your real job versus your job, and we could then extend that to your foundational job. Your real job is to figure out what you're called to do. That's your real job. Your real job in life is to figure out what you're called to do. A job is that which pays the bills until you find your real job. So there's your real job, which is to find out what you're called to do, and there's your job. Your job pays the bills until you find your real job. And your real job is the thing that gives meaning and purpose to your life. We provide people with a foundational job, which is the first job that you have. It's not supposed to be a career job. You really shouldn't have it for more than 90 days. Your first job, your foundational job, first job is worst job. Doesn't mean it's a bad job at all. It just means your next job is better. That's your goal. Whatever job novum-u, Thriving Warrior gets me, Jeff Morgan gets me, whatever job they get me now, I'm going to go get a better job. That's my goal, because when I get my job I want, it should be for more money because I'm already making this and I'm not desperate to take a job, blah, 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 blah. That's your foundational job. Your foundational job is first job is worst job. We use it to close the history gap on your work history gap. 1, give you practice being an employee because you're always going to make mistakes. And 3, get you money so you can make your life easier. And also gives you time to find out what your real job is. And then you enter our employment planning workshop. Okay, so that's that. Real job. Figure out what am I called to do? What is going to give my life meaning and purpose? But in the meantime, you have a job to pay your bills, and which would include tuition. By the way, this month, if you want the discount, you have to pay it before the 1st of September, not September 1st, 2nd, or 3rd. It's before September 1st. Otherwise, our new rates go into effect, but they're far less than $1 million a month. So Jeff can talk to you about that too. Okay, Seth Godin, when we disagree, the hallmark of a resilient, key word, hallmark of a resilient, productive, and sustainable culture is that disagreements aren't risky. When someone cares enough to make an assertion and show their work, a healthy organization or society takes a look. The alternative is the brittle, closed culture of talking points, loyalty oaths, and unquestioned status quo. It might be a neighborhood social club, a large corporation, or a nation, but the principle remains. What happens when we disagree? Because when the world changes, and it always does, we'll probably end up disagreeing sooner or later. Being good at it is a skill. Okay, when we disagree. Hallmark of a resilient, productive society and sustainable culture is that disagreements aren't risky. You can disagree with people. Where are we heading in our society today? You can't disagree with people. You get canceled. Cancel culture. if you disagree. Very risky to disagree. Not good. Disagreement, according to Seth Godin, is good. All right. All righty then. 10 minutes and 14 seconds in. Susanna Herculano, today's TED Talk, actual TED Talk. I think Susanna Herculano was at or is at Princeton. This is perfect in combination following Yuval Harari's Why Do Humans Control the Planet? Remember, Yuval Harari had a simple step progress. Humans control the planet because we are the only animals that can work flexibly in large numbers. There are some animals like bees and ants that can work in large numbers, but they cannot work flexibly. They can't change easily how they do things. There are other animals, social animals like chimpanzees, as Yuval Harari says, wolves, things like that can work flexibly, but only in small numbers. So he gives the example, if you're on a deserted island and it's you versus a chimpanzee, probably the chimpanzee will have a better time. 5 humans versus 5 chimpanzees, the chimpanzees will probably still do better. You take 100 humans versus 100 chimpanzees, no comparison. You put 100,000 chimpanzees in Wembley Stadium and you get utter chaos, where you put humans in there and you get organized events. Okay, so humans control the planet because only humans can work flexibly in very large numbers. Level 2, how do we do that? Well, we invent stories, and if we believe the stories, then we can cooperate. And he gives a list of a lot of stories. Money is a story. This green piece of paper is actually worth $1. Okay, things like that. Why are we the only animals that can create stories? Because we are the only animals able to live in a dual reality, a factual reality. A chair is a chair, a mountain is a mountain, etc., and a fictional or subjective reality where a green piece of paper is worth $1, is worth a banana or 2 bananas, as Greg would say. So green piece of paper is money. A sunset is beautiful or it's bad or this or that. We have subjective reality. Okay, next level down. How are we able to live in a dual reality world when no other animals do? And the answer is we have more neurons, as Yuval Harari calls them. We have more neurons than any other animal, especially in our prefrontal cortex. So we're able to live in a dual reality world. Okay, now we cross over into Susanna Herculano. So what you'll find out is the answer to the question, well, why do we have more neurons? And the answer is because we had more time to solve problems. And the fundamental problem we've been trying to solve for more than 7 million years, maybe 250 million years, is how to survive. And most animals, like great apes, spend most of their day looking for food, eating food, digesting food, and sleeping. They don't have a lot of time left over to figure out what to do, how to solve problems. So they just repeat the same thing all the time, don't really need a lot of brain power, not trying to solve problems, and hence they don't really control the planet. Well, turns out when you cook food, you get more calories in a shorter amount of time. So it doesn't take 12 hours a day to be involved in looking for food, eating food, digesting food. That can be done in a very short period of time with cooked food. That means we have more time to do other things like what? Sex. Oh yeah, okay, 5 minutes later, now what? Okay, now what do we do? What? Okay. Now we have time to solve problems because we're up, we're fed, we're not asleep. And so we have more time to solve problems. So Susanna Herculano really breaks it down really does a good job breaking it down. And Suzanne Herculano is also the one who came up with a method to calculate the number of neurons in a brain. And she has published, I think it's on Wikipedia, a thorough list of animals and the number of neurons they have. And there's a pretty straight line you can see between neurons and intelligence. So you have down at the bottom C. elegans, the worm that Simon Sebastian Song talked about, 300 neurons. You have humans up here with 86 billion neurons. And then in between, mice, rats, cats, dogs, goats, pigs, horses, etc. All the way up, the more neurons, the more intelligence. And the humans are here. Not the most neurons, but the most neurons in the cerebral cortex. So that's Suzanne Herculano. We are 16:02 in. It's time for bingo, bango, bongo. Maybe that's going to be the new expression. Bingo, bango, bongo. Which means what, Justin? Waiting. Navy SEAL Maxim. Yesterday was the only easy day. Make something happen today. Push yourself a little bit harder. Don't compare yourself to other people. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Now, Anna kind of went a little bit astray on that. I compared her dog to her. I compared Elvira, the dog, to Anna, saying the dog is like Anna, constantly barking, getting attention. And Anna said, hey, your TED Talk, or your talk in the morning, you're not supposed to compare people. Well, that's not what I said. I said, we are not supposed to compare ourselves to other people. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. We're always comparing other people to people. That's part of being human. That's how we survive as a species, because we can evaluate and we're always judging, is that person friend or foe? Are they here to help me or hurt me? We're always doing that. And let's not be a little bit naive about that. That's what we do. So anyway, don't compare yourself to other people. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, always striving to be better. Become comfortable being non-comfortable. Be comfortable being uncomfortable. Don't search for, seek out, put yourself on autopilot, always looking for the easy route. That's where everybody else is. The untrodden path can be the better choice, especially if you want to change things. If you always do what you've always done, you're going to get the same result you've always got. Okay, so get comfortable being uncomfortable. I've had a great experience that this week driving the Kia with no air conditioner because a moron tried to charge the air conditioning system and failed. And so now we're driving around 120 degrees uphill both ways, etc. So get comfortable being uncomfortable. And finally, be more samurai. Do things the best you possibly can, given the allotted time. Don't try to always look for shortcuts. Program your RAS for perfection, to be samurai. Convince yourself, ask yourself, what can I do to be more samurai? And then wait and watch what happens. Observe what happens. Okay. And can we say cut? Okay. And cut.